Welcome back to FlyEaglesFly News, where every moment counts and every update matters for true Eagles fans. Today, the buzz around Philadelphia is hard to ignore, because there are some major developments on the offensive side of the ball that could give this team exactly the lift it needs. The Eagles are heading into a crucial matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, and the energy around the roster is palpable. The latest moves by the team might just be that little spark of luck or momentum that can change the course of a season. You know how it goes in football sometimes. It's the smallest adjustments, the subtle roster shifts, that make all the difference when the lights shine the brightest. And speaking of roster shifts, the injury report coming out of this week's first practice, even though it was just a walkthrough, has plenty of talking points. Key players like Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson were absent, while Brandon Dickerson saw limited action and Zach Vaughn and Charlie Hewitt participated fully. Lane Johnson, in particular, is someone the team is watching closely. His recent social media posts have fans guessing about his status, and the team's record without him 3 straight losses is proof of his impact. There's a careful balance here. They don't want to rush him back too soon because his presence is vital for the long haul. But the earliest possible return could be against the Commanders next week, so everyone is holding their breath, hoping that this all-pro tackle will lace up and step back onto the field. The stakes are high. And with Johnson, the Eagles look like a completely different unit. Then there's Charlie Hewitt, the long snapper, who's been activated this week after a period off the field, replacing Cal Adaminis. Now, some might brush this off as a minor adjustment, something that won't change the bigger picture, but the numbers suggest otherwise. The Eagles have an undefeated record with Hewitt in action, while games with Adaminis have seen more missed opportunities, including Jake Elliott struggling in certain situations. Coincidence? Maybe, but when your team is on a 3-game slide, every little edge counts. And Philly might just have found a quirky but potentially game-changing advantage. Small details like this can snowball into momentum that carries through both sides of the ball. Football is a game of inches, and sometimes the right personnel in the right spot at the right time makes the difference between a win and a loss as the Eagles gear up for the Raiders. This could be one of those subtle but meaningful shifts that fans don't always see on the surface, but the players definitely feel in the locker room and on the field. Turning to the Raiders, there's news on their end that could tilt the matchup in Philadelphia's favor. Cornerback Kalu Blue Kelly has been placed on injured reserve, and there's uncertainty about quarterback Geno Smith, who is dealing with a shoulder injury and may not start. That would mean Kenny Pickett, his backup and a former teammate of some Eagles players, could get the start. While Pickett isn't a household name in the same way as some of the league's elite quarterbacks, he's hungry to prove himself. And sometimes that makes a backup quarterback even more dangerous. For players like Zach Vaughn, the matchup brings an added layer of excitement. Facing someone familiar and knowing what to expect from a former teammate, there's strategy, there's history, and there's the adrenaline that comes with these kinds of matchups. But let's be honest, the Eagles' defense has been a force, capable of sacking Justin Herbert 7 times in a single game. So no matter who lines up under center for the Raiders, Philly's front 7 is ready to impose their will, disrupt timing, and dominate in the trenches. Speaking of dominance, Jordan Davis has been turning heads with his performance. Coming off one of the best games of his young career against the Chargers, he showed relentless power, technique, and a level of intensity that sets the tone for the entire defense. From beating linemen in the backfield to making impactful tackles, Davis has been consistently asserting himself. His ability to shed blockers, stack up against massive opponents, and pursue the quarterback with precision makes him a cornerstone of this defense. He's not just racking up stats, he's sending a message to the rest of the league. Davis is becoming the type of player who elevates everyone around him, someone who leads by action and inspires confidence in his teammates. And it's not just him. Players like Byron Young, Jix Hunt, and Nico Dean have all contributed to keeping the pressure on opposing offenses. Each game, each snap, Philly's defense reinforces the narrative that this is a team built on toughness, depth, and relentless energy. It's a blueprint for success, and it's what gives the Eagles a chance to turn their season around, one play at a time. Beyond the physical performance, the emotional and mental approach of the players is equally important. Jordan Davis embodies that mindset, reminding his teammates of their capabilities, the fact that they are Super Bowl champions, and that they can reach those heights again. In football, consistency, belief, and preparation matter just as much as raw talent. The mental edge The locker room energy, the ability to stay positive and push through adversity, defines a team's character. Davis, with his infectious confidence and leadership, has become a central figure in shaping that culture. His words and actions resonate with everyone from the veterans to the rookies, instilling a sense of pride, purpose, and urgency. It's about taking responsibility, holding each other accountable, and maintaining a relentless drive to be great. The Eagles know that victories are earned not only on the field but in the attitude and cohesion cultivated behind the scenes, with Davis setting the tone. The locker room atmosphere is charged, focused, and ready for the challenges ahead. On the offensive side, all eyes are on Jalen Hurts, whose performance continues to spark conversation. Despite some criticism following tough outings, the team remains committed to him. Confidence in your quarterback is crucial, and Hurts has the full backing of his coaching staff and teammates. Questions about slumps, mechanics, or struggles are part of the game, but Hurts' approach emphasizes resilience and adaptability. He recognizes that football success is never linear. There are peaks and valleys, moments of brilliance, and games that challenge even the most talented players. What sets him apart is the response, how he prepares, how he executes under pressure, and how he inspires those around him to rise to the occasion. The chemistry between Hurts and the rest of the offense, the strategic adjustments, and the ability to find a rhythm as a team will be pivotal in determining their success in the upcoming game. As we turn our focus back to Jalen Hurts and the offensive unit, it's clear that consistency is the mantra for this Eagles team. The ups and downs have been frustrating, especially following the bye week when certain aspects of their performance didn't meet expectations. Yet, Hurts' perspective is grounded in preparation and belief. He knows that this offense has immense potential and that the game isn't defined by a single bad outing. Every quarterback faces criticism, but what matters is the response. Hurts has repeatedly emphasized that football success is built on execution, discipline, and maintaining a high level of energy on the field. The team's identity is about doing the fundamentals exceptionally well, reducing mistakes, and ensuring that when the opportunities come, they capitalize. It's a philosophy that doesn't just apply to him, but to every player on the roster. The trust between Hurts and his teammates is evident, and that bond is a foundation for resilience, for bouncing back after setbacks, and for building momentum as the season progresses. The offense's best moments often come when Hurts' mobility is fully utilized. The running game isn't just about gaining yards, it's about creating rhythm, dictating tempo, and opening lanes for play-action opportunities. Hurts understands this, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make the offense succeed. Whether it means taking off in the open field or managing the game strategically from the pocket, the Eagles coaching staff has been working on fine-tuning these dynamics, implementing adjustments week after week to optimize efficiency and reduce errors. The goal is a cohesive, balanced attack that maximizes Hurts' unique skill set while giving the supporting cast the chance to shine. When the flow clicks, the offense becomes a well-oiled machine, and that's the standard the team is chasing. Every snap, every practice, every game is about inching closer to that ideal performance. The emphasis on consistency extends beyond the offense. The Eagles' defensive front has been a pillar of stability and dominance, and Jordan Davis exemplifies that standard. He is not only excelling individually but also elevating those around him. His work ethic, physicality, and attention to technique force opponents into mistakes and open opportunities for the rest of the defense to make plays. Watching him in action, whether it's winning one-on-one battles at the line of scrimmage or pursuing quarterbacks relentlessly, it's easy to see why his presence is a game changer. And it's not just Davis. The collective effort from the defensive line, linebackers, and secondary has created a unit capable of dictating games, keeping offenses on their heels and controlling momentum. The Eagles' defensive identity is clear, aggressive, disciplined, and relentless, and it's the kind of consistency that allows the offense time and space to operate with confidence. Meanwhile, the locker room energy, often overlooked by casual observers, has been transformed by leaders who understand the value of positivity and accountability. Jordan Davis himself has become a cornerstone of that culture, constantly reinforcing belief in the team, celebrating small victories, and holding teammates accountable without letting frustration or negativity seep in. The removal of the so-called positivity bunny might have seemed symbolic, but in reality, the team is embracing a culture where genuine leadership and peer-driven motivation takes center stage. It's about authenticity and trust, making sure that players feel supported and inspired to perform at their best. Davis' approach embodies that philosophy, blending humor, encouragement, and a no-nonsense approach to preparation and performance. It's the type of environment where players thrive. Mistakes are corrected constructively, and the focus remains on execution and results. The Eagles' resilience is further tested by media scrutiny and fan expectations. Jalen Hurts, like many elite quarterbacks, faces a constant barrage of commentary, with analysts dissecting every play, every interception, and every decision. Yet, he and the team remain laser-focused on their process. They understand that external noise is part of the sport, but the true measure of success comes from preparation, cohesion, and performance on the field. Hurts' confidence in his teammates, combined with his own skill set, allows him to navigate these pressures effectively. The key is maintaining clarity, keeping the mindset grounded in action rather than reaction, and trusting that consistent effort will produce results. The offensive line, skill players, and running backs all feed into this ecosystem, where each player's commitment to excellence directly impacts the team's ability to execute at a high level. Looking ahead to the Raiders matchup, Philadelphia's approach is deliberate and strategic. The potential absence of Geno Smith and the presence of Kenny Pickett under center introduces an interesting dynamic, but the Eagles are preparing as if they will face the most formidable version of their opponent. The defensive schemes, offensive adjustments, and situational drills are all designed to test and sharpen the team's ability to respond under pressure. The focus is on fundamentals, discipline, execution, and leveraging the strengths of players like Davis on defense and Hurts on offense. Preparation at this stage of the season isn't just about game planning, it's about building confidence, reinforcing mental toughness, and creating an environment where players are equipped to make split-second decisions that can change the outcome of a game. Team leadership, from both coaching staff and player captains, reinforces the importance of belief and accountability. Jordan Davis' perspective highlights that mindset is just as crucial as physical performance, encouraging consistency, recognizing individual contributions, and maintaining a high-energy locker room are strategies that pay dividends on the field. Every rep, every film session, and every practice is an opportunity to strengthen habits and reinforce the culture of winning. It's a holistic approach to football, where the mental, emotional, and physical aspects are integrated. To maximize performance, players are encouraged to take ownership of their roles, support one another, and maintain the belief that they are capable of achieving great things as a unit. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that could shake up the league's landscape. ESPN sources are reportedly confirming what many fans had only dared to speculate. Washington Commanders star wide receiver Terry McLaurin is reportedly on his way to the Philadelphia Eagles. The news has ignited a frenzy across social media, with supporters and critics alike dissecting every possible angle of this potential blockbuster move. McLaurin, known for his explosive speed, precise route running, and knack for making defenders look foolish, has long been a centerpiece of the Commanders' offense. His ability to turn a short pass into a long touchdown has made him one of the most reliable and electrifying receivers in the NFL. But despite his undeniable talent, rumors suggest that behind-the-scenes negotiations may have reached a tipping point, potentially making a transfer to the Eagles a reality. The Eagles, already boasting a formidable roster, would be adding a true game-changer to their offensive arsenal. Analysts are speculating how McLaurin's presence could redefine the team's passing attack, giving the quarterback a lethal weapon capable of stretching defenses and creating mismatches across the field. Meanwhile, Commanders fans are expressing a mix of disbelief and frustration, fearing the loss of a player who has consistently delivered highlight reel plays. Sources close to the situation hint that discussions have been ongoing for weeks, with both teams exploring various trade packages and financial arrangements. While nothing has been officially confirmed by the franchises, the chatter is enough to send ripple effects through fantasy football leagues, betting markets, and NFL locker rooms. McLaurin's potential move raises questions about the Commanders' long-term strategy, while simultaneously fueling excitement in Philadelphia, where fans are already imagining the possibilities of his impact on their team's offensive dynamics. If this transfer comes to fruition, it could be one of the most talked about moves of the season, redefining both teams' trajectories. For now, The NFL community watches eagerly, waiting for the next development in what could become a defining chapter in McLaurin's career, and perhaps in the Eagles' quest for dominance. Rumors like this remind us why football isn't just played on the field sometimes. The drama off the field captures the imagination just as much. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.